Hello everyone. So I just bought my first calendar application, and I was shocked to realize that I would actually buy an application that was a calendar because it doesn't sound very exciting, and my iPhone already has a calendar application. But after seeing enough good reviews, I sort of impulsively purchased it because I have a lot of schedule changes during my days and my weeks, and I thought I would give it a try. And I'm very happy with it. So I wanted to show it off. It's actually my first application review and demonstration video, so I think that says a lot. Now, because this is my first, I might not pronounce it correctly. It's either Fantastical or Fantastical. Because, it could be either way. It would make sense either way. Let's have a look. Here it is right here. There's a couple reasons that I wanted to buy this application, because it had a few features that I desperately wanted in my default calendar application, and for whatever reason, Apple didn't include it. But let's first talk about the layout, and then I'll get into the features that I wanted and all the other features that are in it. First of all, as you can see off the bat, it sort of retains the original iOS 6 calendar layout, where you have a month view at the top and a list of your events below. Now, it does not just look this way. If you touch the calendar and drag down and let go, you now have a week view, which you can scroll through. And as you can see, the events that I have scheduled move along as well as I progress through it. You can pull back down again and get back to month view. And if you notice, there's a little search field that appears before. So if you don't pull down all the way, just a little bit, you'll be able to search for events. And pull back up, and there you go. So if you've gone ahead in time and you want to get back to the current day, you just tap the date at the very top. This says April 2014, but we'll go to today's date. There you go. So we are on the 13th November 2013. You also have the plus button, which, the addition button, that's across iOS to add an event. We'll get to that in a second. Well, we can also have a look at the settings on the top left. Now, depending on what calendars you have synced to your iPhone, Fantastical will sync those as well. I have 3 calendars right now. Everything else is basically self-explanatory. Time zone support, app icon badges, which means, let's get out of here for a second, a little red dot on the top right-hand corner, the same way you see in your mail application and your text messages. It can show the number of remaining events, or it can give you the current date, or nothing at all. I think that's really nice. You can highlight the weekends. I do that for myself. Light theme or dark theme, so if you want your phone to be a little bit more like Android, turn that off, go back. And you have a black theme. Of course, the calendar up here is not black, and I think that would flow a little bit more nicely if we had white dates on a black background, but so I turn that back on just so I can get a more concise look. Default alerts, default duration, and we'll get into this, that when you set up a event, it can have a default duration for that. The default calendar, so when you set up a calendar event, it will automatically label it as what you have here. Enabling reminders, starting your calendar on a certain week. And all of that is fairly self-explanatory. In addition to this particular view, you do have the 2 views, as I mentioned, the month view and the week view. You also have a more detailed week view by turning the phone sideways. And there's a couple events that I have listed there. So let's go ahead and add an event. There's a couple ways to do this that all begin with hitting the Add Event button. We'll click plus here. So you can type something in the way you normally would. The default here is lunch at home on Friday. So actually, let's type exactly that. Watch what happens as I type. Now, as you can see, as I've been typing, the words have been falling into my calendar. Now, it's recognized the word lunch and thrown that into the event. It recognized at home as being an event for my home calendar because I do have a calendar labeled at home. It understood Friday and put it down this Friday at 1 p.m. It put it down at 1 p.m. And the default is for a half an hour because that was what I had as the calendar. So let's click on add. And there it is, 1 to 1:30. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And you can delete by sliding from right to left. Or I can edit it, but I'm going to go ahead and delete it. It's asking me if I want to delete the event. Yes. Let's click on the add. Now you can also, as most people probably do, they use their little speaker, the microphone icon to speak. And it works the same way here. So let's say dinner with my family this Friday from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Maybe we're going to have coffee and something afterwards and talking. All right, so it understood dinner with my family, made that the label of the calendar event, understood this Friday. It's no longer defaulted to a half an hour because it sees that I said specifically 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and it put it in there. And now we'll go ahead and click add. Now let's say you have a recurring event. I'm actually going to delete this for right now. You have a special, lunch date every weekend, let's say, and your next one is starting this Saturday, and you have one every Saturday. Lunch meeting every Saturday, starting this Saturday at 1 p.m. So right now it looks like it just created one event. Let's click add. Now look what just happened. Lunch meeting, lunch meeting, lunch meeting every Saturday. Forever. So I think that is a really cool way. Basically, as you can see, it's taking just common English dialogue and it understands what we're saying. Now, it's not as easy as setting it up via Siri, where you just press and hold your home button to activate Siri and adding the event you want to add. You do have to open up your phone and then go into this application. Now, I have some other stuff that's already on here. I've got a free concert in the park at 6 to 6:30. I've got a reminder to, not a reminder, but a calendar to buy avocados on Monday. Well, there's another free concert. Let's go ahead and delete that. And I have a film festival that I will be going to. These are all fake events that I've just set up for this demonstration. And this happens to be another feature that I've wanted in the default iPhone calendar app, which they don't have. If I knew that I was going to go to another free concert next Saturday as well, not the current Saturday that's listed, but the one after that, to duplicate it, I would have to click on it, click edit. There's a repeat. So you can do it this way, as I'm showing you, but there's a much easier way, and this is what's beautiful about it. So if I want to duplicate this without going in and going into all the settings, press or touch and hold on an event, and look at that, duplicate, move, or share. I'm going to duplicate it. Now I can choose when the next date is, so let's go to next Saturday. Duplicate. Done. Now we go to next Saturday, and there's another free concert. This is huge for me. When I'm out on the go, and I'm, walking down the sidewalk, I don't want to have to go into all of these settings and then click save and then come back out. This is much easier to just press and hold, duplicate, choose the date, hit duplicate, and I'm done. It's a lot easier. Another feature that comes with this application, which shockingly does not come with the default calendar app, is this. Let's say I have something else going on the 23rd. On November 23rd, buy eggs at 10:30 a.m. And this will default to my home calendar, which is correct. So now, as you can see, I've got two events going on. I've got buying eggs at 10:30. I've got a free concert at 6. Let's say I also have a film festival after that. Maybe it's a late night film festival. On November 23rd, film festival at 11 p.m. Now I do want to change the calendar to festivals. Add. So now, as you can see, I've got 3 different calendars on the same day. My home calendar to buy eggs, my outside events calendar for a free concert, and my film festival calendar that is also labeled film festival. That's the 23rd. So let me go to the 23rd. Here's the other big thing that I love about this event. The default calendar app, let me actually go to it. In your month view, it doesn't matter how many events you have, if you have one or many, and if those events are different or not. All you get is a single gray dot telling you that you have something or some things going on. There's no way of knowing unless you click on the date specifically. So there's no at a glance way to see what's going on when you are in month view. Here, however, it's not a single dot. It's multiple dots, and they're colored depending on the calendar. In addition, notice their placement, where the earlier the event, the further to the left, and as it progresses through the day, it goes to the right. So buy eggs is at 10:30, that's the earliest, so it is the furthest to the left, and it's also to the top. Free concert is next, and that's later, and then film festival is the latest, and it's pushed to the farthest right. This is also huge for me. Same thing in month view. Let me click away from Zoom. We have 3 dots. Each of them are a different color representing the calendars. In my tests, I've been able to get up to 4 dots with 4 different colors. Any more than that, and it just shows you those first 4, but still huge compared to what we had in the default calendar app. So those are the big things that I love about this application, and it's just super easy to use. If you've set up reminders through Siri or through the Reminders application, those sync as well. I don't use reminders as much just because I tend to want to use location-based reminders, and I have had almost no luck with that. So I haven't really used it yet, but I just wanted to share what I did know about it and what I do like about it, and I just think it's a great application. It's beautiful. They do note that when there are major upgrades, current owners of the application don't get free upgrades. You have to buy the major upgrades. Some people are unhappy with that. I'm fine with it. I recommend it if you want to have better productivity in your life and you're on the go and have countless things changing and canceling on you, and you need to see things at a glance, and you want to be able to speak in natural language to add what you want to add. I think it's huge that I can say, have dinner every Saturday, starting on a certain date, ending at a certain date, starting and ending at a certain time. I just think it's beautiful. All right, so that's that. Hope this was a fairly good application review and demo because it was my first time. All right, bye-bye.